Alright guys, nothing left for it but to give him a call and see if he'll actually speak to us about this case or any of the people involved that he knew. I'm kind of dreading this, but I can't put it off any longer. We've got to do it.
Hello.
The Carol and Macwilliams and Jack Macwilliams case, murdered in 1969, weighs heavy on my soul. As you guys know, I've investigated that murder for over 2 years on this channel. A lot of it has been done through spirit boxing, but I have spent countless hours researching old newspapers and anything I can get my hands on. The consensus in this town was that Ian Rose murdered these two, end of story. Donald Kelly went to prison for it. It runs much deeper than that. Why did the third person, who was supposedly hanging out with these kids the morning of the murder, never charged? No, he was the fourth person, actually, because Jimmy the Fox was also charged, but neither Jimmy nor Ian Rose were convicted. Donald Kelly was convicted because he had uttered death threats a couple months before. He was very vocal that he was going to kill Carol. If you ask anybody who was alive at that time, they all say Donald wouldn't do that. He didn't do that. He was a boisterous bully. He was a con man. He was a thief. He was a lot of things, but he wasn't a cold-blooded murderer. Well, this Sunday is the 55th anniversary to the day of that murder. If you want to know more, go back and watch the 30 videos I've already done on it. But this morning I woke up with an absolute knowing in my mind that the only way forward on this case is to contact somebody who is still alive and is a family member that I have known my entire life. He was best friends with Ian Rose. I've always known this person as an easygoing, happy-go-lucky guy. But there's a dark side to this man that you can't deny. Things have happened in his past. When he was young, when he was a teenager, he was bad. He actually was charged with attempted murder as a juvenile alongside Ian Rose in a separate case. I never would have known or thought or guessed that from all of my interactions with this person. There are other things that come out of his life that, you know, maybe as an adult, there's more to the story. What I want to share with you guys today is a conversation that I had with my female informant, who most of you know who that is, but I'm not going to say her name just in case. I'm going to let you guys listen to the conversation. I'll piece together what she talked about with me. She knows so much more than we could ever cover in a 5-hour conversation. What I got out of it, guys, is that there are 3 people alive that she knows of. There may be more that could still help me with this case. One of them is the bartender that worked at the Continental restaurant back in the day. They would have heard these conversations, these jobs that were being set up. Jimmy the Fox used to have meetings, hold meetings of what they were going to do, where they were going to go, who they were going to rob. You know, would this bartender have any information? Would she remember anything? Was she ever interviewed by the police? I don't know. She's still alive. She is the least of the 3 that I would love to talk to. The second one, I'm not going to mention any of these names, guys, because the mafia ties in this town still run deep. Probably deeper than I could ever imagine. And our second person that we would want to talk to, she was great friends with Donald Kelly. She was also wanted for attempted murder, stabbed a boyfriend for cheating on her at one time in her life, and there were other tie-ins with a murder that occurred that this person was very close to her as well. So these are the type of people you don't want to mess with. I can't say their name. She's in her 80s. She's still alive. She swears she knows who killed Carol and Jack, but she'll take it to her grave. Would I get desperate enough to contact her? I don't know, but it's a possibility. She's still alive. I know she's out there. I know she exists. And then the third one is this other person that I've known my entire life. And I'll show you how that conversation went as well. Good morning. It's Gary Reed calling.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to be honest because I don't know any other way to breach this, but I'm kind of doing a writing story. I've been following the case from years and years ago. Your friend Ian was involved in that Macwilliams murders. And I'm trying to basically piece together the case 55 years down the road. And I've gone through every newspaper clipping. I've done a bunch of videos on it. I'm thinking of writing the story of this. I don't know why it's never been done. It's a fascinating case. You said that you might have insights having known these people, being very close with Ian, and I'm just throwing it out there to see if you'd have any interest in talking to me about any of that or any of the characters or anything.
I've got that OD thing there. I can't remember what I did yesterday. Honest to God. I'm that bad of shape.
Really? No interest at all?
No, not really, buddy.
Okay, well, I can appreciate that, and I'll just throw it out there to you that I'm super interested in that case, and if you ever change your mind, want to talk about it or anything, let me know. Either just give me a call yourself anytime, and
okay.
I would appreciate it. I really would.
I was looking at your book yesterday, so I don't know what that's kind of weird.
Well, maybe it's a sign. You know what? I'm tell you something I wasn't going to tell you, okay? Because I don't know your spirituality or your beliefs in any of that.
Right.
But I'll tell you, I'm not a psychic per se, but I do get intuitions and things, and it's very strange how this case came to me. I run spirit box apps as part of an entertainment thing. I make videos online, and part of that case, Carol and Jack, it came through and it started talking about that case, and I didn't know anything about that case.
Right.
It was saying how they were murdered, we were shot in the head, blah, blah, blah. And then I started following the pieces and looking up, researching what is this box talking about. And the things that it was saying were real, and it was this Macwilliams case. And I'm going to tell you, I honestly feel, I've been doing this case now for almost 2 years, there is some strange attachment that Carol has with me. And believe this or not, she keeps coming through the spirit boxes, and I keep getting messages, and she's not done with me. I'm supposed to find, they keep talking about the bullet, her book, a diary of some kind that she had. They've told me things. I don't want to tell you the things that the boxes told me because I don't know if any of it's real or not. It's like a soap opera.
Right.
Do you know anybody named Buzz? Buzz, B-U-Z-Z?
No, can't say I did.
Because that name keeps coming through the spirit box, and I have no idea. There was no constable named Buzz.
Not that there was a lot of people involved in that. A lot.
This story doesn't even have to come out until after you're gone. If you want me to wait 10 years, I need the truth. It is haunting my soul. Carol is haunting my soul.
Well, I was at the party, but I also passed out, so after that it was just word to lip. I had to sit in the house while they ripped Maple Family's house apart for 2 days. Yeah, we couldn't move for 2 days. Couldn't phone anybody, couldn't do anything. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be myself because, like I said, I was in the house part of that night of the party,
But you've heard things.
yeah, but I'm gonna take that with me.
Okay.
I don't want to bring that up.
Okay. I can appreciate that. In all seriousness, I understand that. And if there ever comes a time when you want to get anything off your chest that you've heard, or if you want to share anything, let me know, because
I will, Gary.
okay, I appreciate that. Does that person have information that could verify anything that the spirit box has told us? I don't know. But if that were the case, that is what millions of people are in search of right now. They want to connect spirituality and things that come from spirit boxes and mediums and this whole beyond. We want to connect that to a physical reality, our reality. And if we could do that through this case, it would mean so much to so many people, including myself. Just to hear him say that he was at the party and say Maple Bromley's name, it fills me with a sadness almost, because he has answers. He knows things that he's not willing to talk about, and he is probably one of the last, if not the last, true connection alive to this case that could tell us, even if it is only from what he heard from Ian, his best friend, what happened that night. And it's frustrating to me. I understand that to have such a dark secret that you could never tell, even though your friend is dead and most of the players in this case are dead, it weighs heavy on his soul. Is there some other secrets that he has about this that I don't know? There could be. We'll never know from the sound of it. He doesn't want to talk about it. And that, I guess, is the crux of my position here, because for 2 long, hard years, I've wanted so badly to find the truth and information on this, and he knows things, but won't tell me. It eats me up. This Sunday, I plan on going to, I believe, Donald Kelly's grave, and we're going to do some sessions out there. My friend Doug might accompany me. He's going to get back to me. If not, I'm going to do it alone. And we're just going to see. I believe that on certain days, anniversaries and things like that, the spirits, the tie will be much stronger. And I'm getting a shiver down the back of my neck that they're going to want to communicate, especially on that anniversary date of their murders. I have not found definitively where Carol is buried. I've been to the graveyard where it says she is, but her name is not on any of the stones. We know where Jack is buried. We could go to Jack's grave, but I want to go to Donald Kelly's grave because he's the man who spent the majority of his life in prison for this crime, and he swore up and down to his dying day that he did not do it, and I don't think he did.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I figured you'd be up.
Oh, of course I was.
Okay, so I was laying in bed thinking this morning, I realized that this is a special week. It's the 55th anniversary of the Jack and Carol murders.
Okay, yes.
This Sunday, they were murdered on a Sunday, so it will be 55 years to the day. And I was toying with what I was going to do, go to Donald Kelly's grave in Bonfield, maybe if I can find it and do a session. And then all of a sudden it hit me. No, I know what I need to do, and I need your help.
What's that?
You know what I need to do if you think about it. Where can I get answers? There's only one place I can get answers. You're damn right.
Unfortunately, there's problems there.
Oh no, what's going on?
Let's just put it this way. When I went to lunch last week, his sister was there.
Yeah.
And she was saying about the other sister is in Castle Home with dementia. And beginnings of Alzheimer's. So somebody said, oh, wow. And she goes, my brother and my sister. And she said, my other brother every second day. He's not. He didn't even remember I had a son.
Okay, well, I need to talk to him then before he gets any worse. What's going on? He might have answers that nobody else has. Is he still living on his own?
Yeah, as far as I know, nobody was living there, just him.
So he can't be that far gone, can he?
Well, this is the weird part. Sometimes he comes out with stuff that you kind of look at him funny, like the day I was in the courthouse when he says, oh, you have a son? How come I never met him? Meanwhile, he was at our wedding.
Well, you know what? The thing with Alzheimer's is it affects their current memory, but they should remember people from when they were young. Okay, look, the bottom line is this. There's a couple things I need to know. How dangerous do you think it is for me to talk to him about this You were saying about him and Ian being charged with attempted murder.
This was for some kid that they were juveniles, I guess, or something, but they told them they were going to string them up or something in the garage. Now, I don't know whether he's telling me the whole story of it or not.
But was he not charged with attempted murder?
Well, he said they did, but they were just juveniles.
So that would mean he would have had to have done it. Because you can't charge someone with attempted murder if they didn't actually string the guy up and threaten him and beat him. And
This is what I'm saying. I think they might have, knowing the pair. If I hazard to guess, yeah, they wouldn't just say it.
so, okay, that's my question. Now we know we know he's super violent, right? When he was young. But that I know is a funny, easy, happy-go-lucky guy.
No, I know he probably wouldn't give you no problem or whatever. Probably.
I know, but then, you know, there's the whole tie-in with, like you say, about how does he have this connection and protection for a lawyer he can't afford, for all these run-ins that he has. You know, there's something there that we don't know.
Oh, I know that for a fact, because he always was tight with, a bunch of cement work and stuff for him.
Yeah, I know exactly. Block work and cement work. How many people can we suppose went missing?
Like, you never knew if he was telling you the whole part of it or just his part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he always made it so it didn't seem as bad as it was, but I guess that's normal for everybody. I don't know.
The fact
He
is,
knows about it.
yes, he was at the party that night. I found a newspaper article that stated his name as being at that party. So within a few hours, he was with those kids. And the story that I'm getting from the box is that Carol was actually pregnant by Detective Black. Okay? This is a soap opera. And it keeps saying that Black murdered them, that Black is guilty, da-da-da. Now, is Black guilty through association? Did he have Ian do it for him or with him? Was he holding something over Ian? I don't know. I have not explored that route yet, because as soon as the box kept telling me in multiple sessions that Black did it, that's the route I went down. And we got some strange clips about his wife. It was a female saying, I knew he was lying that night in the tub. You know, strange things that fit with this guy having basically maybe in the beginning saved Carol from, it says she was tied up in multiple, oh, they beat her and this and that. Like, you're getting flashes of history. But then it goes on to say that, you know, she was pregnant with his child and that's why she was murdered.
The stuff I heard, I do have a friend that swears up and down that she knows exactly who did it, but will never say it, and I know she won't. She's as solid as they come.
That doesn't help me, though.
I know she'd go to jail before, you know what I mean, before she'd roll over, and Don Kelly was a great friend of hers. But there's also, I've thought of things after, you know, she's older in her 80s, right? When I decided to marry, she had said to me, because she was always like a mother figure to me, because I worked with her for years at Voyager. And she said, are you sure you know what you're doing? And I remember saying to her, I thought he was a friend of yours. She said, well, in a way, she said, I did live with his brother, but she said he's more an acquaintance, she said. So maybe he was even there, I don't know. Like, I watch a lot of murder shows, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this one has it all, even without knowing the inside track. You know what I mean? From him escaping to, you know what?
Yeah.
And I've often wondered why there's never, I have watched tons of the murder shows. I've never seen anything even close on that. And like I said, it's got everything.
Because I have to make the movie and the book about it. Why? Because nobody else is doing it. So that's why.
I'm not myself why.
I don't know why, because it's just fate the way it is.
About this, it may have been involved, the police involved somehow. And so it's been buried. You know what I mean?
It does. It has, for sure. And there are names that I have written down here that I don't know who they were, but if I can prove that this constable with this name was actually on the force, I've looked for records and I can't find complete records for 69. I have partial records, But these are, again, things that I guess what I'm trying to say is I want the spirit box to be proven with physical evidence. He was best friends with Ian, was accused of, attempted murder with Ian in a completely different case. He was at the party that night. At the worst case, he could tell me and fill me in about the character of these people. He must have known Detective Black. He must have known. He would have had.
Probably could tell you that sort of stuff. Like he probably dug her in things twice, so he was a prick and was always after us, or he was a shady guy. You know what I mean? Like.
It's funny that you use that word because in the previous episode that I did with Ian Rose, that's the exact word that came up when it talked about Detective Black. It said prick. Yes.
Well, they all talk the same, you know what I mean?
Yes, so.
I'm going to tell you, and I'll tell you this in all honesty, this has never been any different. Cops aren't as squeaky clean as we all were raised to think they are, I guess. You know what I mean? There's a lot of them that are on the fringe of shady shit. And that's been going on for years and years and years. When you worked in the bar, you knew what cops you could get around for certain things. You still even look at it now. There's ones I know that they know that they're thieving little bastards and they're doing this and they're doing whatever. Well, they give info, obviously. That's why they're running around.
Well, that is exactly why I can't explain or figure out how Ian Rose and Jerry Roy did not go to prison for murder in this case, only Donald Kelly. And it's because they had some kind of protection. They were working with Detective Black. I am 100% certain of that. Did they actually pull the trigger for Detective Black? They might have. I need to talk before he gets any older, any more decrepit, before he dies.
I'm not laughing about that when you said decrepit. It made me laugh.
Well, it's a fact here. He's not getting any younger, but I don't know what I'm dealing with in terms of danger level, and I want answers. I guess
He would never go back and say to somebody, well, he'd probably even tell you that. He'd probably say to you, Gary, you better leave this alone. Like, not in a threatening way, but he might say,
just to let me know. Yeah.
to be digging in.
I don't know how much mafia is still around. I bet you there is more than we could ever imagine.
Probably.
But is this case so old and so far gone that nobody gives a shit anymore? I give a shit. And I think Jack and Carol give a shit. And this is one of the biggest cases with him, one of the biggest manhunts. It might even be the biggest manhunt in Canadian history when he broke out of prison and went on that 30-some day run in the wild.
And you know, that's another thing that often stuck out to me. Been going to Diver for probably 50 years, okay? Where did Don Kelly go? Diver.
Yes.
So,
There's another connection there, yes.
yes.
Okay, tell me about this woman. What's her name? The one that won't talk?
Oh, no, you can't use her name.
I won't use her name. I just...
For sure.
What is her relation? She was a friend of Donald Kelly's.
Yes. Now, this is Madam 62. She's probably 84 now.
How do you spell her last name? Okay. I'm just writing this down because, you know what? I have to have these things written down and saved because at some point, depending on how far I get with this one or that one, I may have to talk to this person and just ask her. Maybe a deathbed confession. You never know. People change their minds, right?
Oh, no, she told me this just a few months ago. 2-3 months ago, because I tried everything.
But if she is the last one alive who has information on this, why, and you're going to die, why wouldn't you want the truth to come out?
Say 30 years ago, and I lived on Lakeshore, and stabbed her boyfriend for running around on her.
If you stab somebody...
As soon as she said put me in jail and whatever, all charges were dropped. And I think it might be true because it was my son's uncle that found the guy dead. Well, like I say, he would tell you straight whether he thinks that you should probably not be doing that.
Well, I'm sure he's going to tell me not to do that, but the bottom line is
Not necessarily. He might say, well, go ahead, everybody's toast now.
I just want the truth. I feel, I don't...
No, but I'm saying he might, but I'm saying if there's somebody still alive that he knows was involved, he may not.
Yes.
Like this part, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. He would advise me that, you know what, this is way more dangerous than thinking, and you
Without being
shouldn't.
rude, he would just explain it. If not, he'd say, oh, well, you're probably good to go. They're all going, you know.
God forbid a murderer be rude to me. Oh my God.